Richmond's #1 choice for news at 11. This is NBC 12 News.
New at 11, we're under a winter advisory right now. In fact, take a look at the radar. Snow is already falling in some parts of central Virginia. Welcome to 12 News at 11. I'm Gene Cox.
And I'm Sabrina Squire. Thanks for joining us.
We're on your side with team coverage of the wintry weather.
Tom Patton has a look at what it could mean for your morning commute. But first, let's get a check on the forecast from meteorologist Jim Duncan.
All right, we'll start with the winter weather advisory issued by the National Weather Service because of the potential, not so much for any major accumulations of snow, although there could be a little light accumulation on grassy areas, but the potential that once the roads get wet again, they've dried a bit, but once they get wet again with some of the snow and rain, sleet mix that's falling now will change to just periods of snow over the next few hours. The wet roads could freeze because colder temperatures will be coming in later tonight. So there's a concern late tonight, very late tonight, just around sunrise. Temperatures upper 20s could mean areas of slick spots, black ice perhaps on many of the regional roadways. That's a big reason why this winter weather advisory has been issued. Let's look at the Doppler radar. There are areas of sleet now falling in metro Richmond, mainly west of I-95, some snow out to the west, and we've had a few calls from areas to the west with some snow starting to come down. There might be a little brief shot where it comes down pretty good for a spell, and that's what could coat the grassy areas, but then this whole area will zip off to the east. But that's what's going on the radar. I do expect we'll see a bit of snow here even in metro Richmond within the next hour, and we'll keep an eye on it for you, and I'll have your complete forecast coming up.
Oh, boy. Thanks, Jim. With that chance of icy conditions, we are keeping an eye on the roads, especially bridges and overpasses. Tom Patton is live in South Richmond with that part of our coverage.
All right, Sabrina, we have a very light sleet out here right now, and temperatures are dropping tonight. We've been well above freezing all day, but tonight we do expect them to really tank. And with the chance of snow in the forecast, VDOT, of course, is not going to take any chances. So about an hour ago, crews got busy loading trucks with sand and salt, and they'll be ready to go overnight and into the early morning hours, responding wherever they're needed. But a VDOT spokeswoman tells us that they can't pre-treat the roads tonight because of the rain.
This event is starting with rain, so we cannot do any type of anti-icing. So therefore, we're going to have to wait and be more responsive after the event starts as opposed to being active and putting down anti-icing because the chemicals would get washed off. We have 9 strategically located pavement sensors, and they're located in various bridges and overpasses throughout the district. And that lets us know that, hey, on this overpass, the temperature is just above freezing, or this overpass is just below. So we kind of gives us a better gauge as to where our efforts are most needed and where we can really make sure we can make a difference.
Before you leave for work in the morning, VDOT recommends you call 511 to get up-to-the-minute details on any accidents or problem areas. And VDOT also recommends that you leave early. Take your time and, of course, drive slowly. Live in Richmond, Tom Patton for NBC 12.
Thank you, Tom. And we recommend that you tune into Channel 12 tomorrow because of the possibility of wintry weather. Our morning team will be a half hour earlier than normal. We'll have the latest forecast, road conditions, and all the day's headlines to help get you started. That's 12 News Today, starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning.
We have a traffic alert right now for drivers who use the Benjamin Harrison Bridge connecting Prince George and Charles City counties. Weather permitting, that bridge will be closed tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. During that time, crews will finish what they started on Monday, installing a rebuilt motor on the lift span. Detours will be about 28 miles in each direction. In Chesterfield County, supervisors tonight passed a measure to develop a stretch of land along Courthouse Road. Chesterfield leaders debated the plan for 2 hours tonight because of concerns over increased traffic. The plan rezones the area from Lux Lane to Midlothian Turnpike to allow for more office buildings.
First-time DUI offenders could be forced to have one of these devices placed on their cars. Lawmakers in the House overwhelmingly passed a measure today designed to make it harder for drunk drivers to get on the roads. Tara Morgan has details, new at 11.
Well, the ignition interlock device is an alcohol sensor about the size of a cell phone. It asks for a breath test, and if you fail, your car won't start.
In just seconds, it's either all systems go or not. The ignition interlock test begins at the turn of the key.
And then it asks me, ready for test, please blow.
It measures the driver's blood alcohol content.
In Virginia, a blood alcohol content of 0.02 or a beer of this size for an average-sized male will trigger the device. Right now, anyone with 2 DUIs within 5 years or having been convicted with a blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher must have the device installed. Judges can also order interlocks as a condition of a restricted license. Greg Vassalou, who coordinates Virginia's interlock program, says 4,500 people in the state have it, 750 in Metro Richmond.
School teachers, lawyers, a doctor, everybody you can imagine.
Drivers who pass the test will be randomly retested on the road and must complete it within 6 minutes or the horn starts blowing and headlights flash. Vassalou says it keeps the driver from having others blow into the device for them or stopping at a convenience store for beer. The interlock records violations such as failed tests or tampering.
We pay close attention to the mileage and how often the car is used.
The data is monitored monthly and violations will land offenders back in court.
It protects the public from a trouble drinker during the time, hopefully, that they're getting treated. And it protects the public from a non-problem drinker during the time maybe that they're still having to learn, hey, I shouldn't be drinking at all and driving.
The interlock system costs $65 to install, and then there's a $65 monthly fee. Critics of the legislation say the bill goes too far, that most people who get 1 DUI never get another one. Tara Morgan, NBC 12.
Just into our newsroom, Virginia State Police have issued an alert for an endangered child. They're looking for a 3-year-old girl who is missing from her home in Matthews County. Authorities say the child may be traveling with her father, Robert Dutton. Dutton is described as a white male, 5 feet 7 inches tall, 220 pounds, with short reddish blonde hair. Dutton drives an Isuzu Rodeo with Virginia license plate KAE 6277. Anyone with information is asked to call 1-800-VIRGINIA-CHILD.
And we're following a developing story in Newport News. The Coast Guard has suspended its search for a man missing after an accident at a shipyard. The 19-year-old sheet metal worker fell off the USS Carl Vinson this morning. 2 sailors who saw him fall jumped into the James River to try to help him, but they could not find him. A Virginia-based Navy SEAL is found dead on an Arizona golf course after a training exercise accident. The military says the Navy SEAL died during a parachute jump about 50 miles south of Phoenix. It's not clear what went wrong. The victim's name has not been released.
2 North Carolina men are behind bars tonight, accused of supplying drugs to students at Longwood University. Farmville police say Garrett Waddell and William Gibbons were busted on their way to the campus with LSD, pills, and 7 pounds of marijuana. The drugs have an estimated street value of more than $26,000. Both men are being held at the Piedmont Regional Jail without bond tonight. In Richmond, expensive jewelry seized in recent drug busts will be auctioned next week. The seized items will be part of a bigger auction that also includes some antiques. The money will be returned to Richmond law enforcement to help pay for the continued fight against drugs. That auction is set for next Wednesday starting at 3 p.m. at Motley's Galleries, 4402 West Broad Street in Richmond. You can view pictures of the jewelry on our website, NBC12.com. Just click on All Access.
If you need some extra money, you may be in luck. Today, President Bush signed the economic stimulus package, which includes a tax rebate check for most Americans. Bert Ottra has a closer look at the plan and what it means for you.
Gene, it's a $152 billion plan rushed through Congress by Democrats and Republicans alike, hoping to avoid a recession. But will that money really give the economy the jump start it needs? It seems to depend on what you do with the money. To help the economy, President Bush is giving businesses tax breaks and sending you a check. $600 to $1,200, maybe more if you have kids. He calls it
a package that is robust, temporary, and puts money back into the hands of American workers and businesses.
So how will you spend the money?
Savings. Yeah, I put it in savings for college.
And instead of shopping, we're going to be paying bills with it instead. Probably bills, credit card bills. Got that to pay back.
That's not what Congress wants you to do. The idea behind these rebates is to spend the money to create demand, jobs, and stimulate the economy.
They could save it, they could pay off debt, and they could buy imports, none of which would help boost consumption in the current economy.
Some lawmakers are concerned the multi-billion-dollar package and the rest of the president's budget aren't helping the economy. They're adding to the nation's growing deficit.
Seems to me we squandered that opportunity with $168 billion that we're going to borrow from other countries with no plan to pay it back.
Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson told Congress today it's still not clear if we're really headed for a recession.
Everything I've looked at, and I don't know for sure, but that I believe that we're going to continue to grow.
That may depend on whether cash-strapped Americans behind in mortgage payments, trying to pay for college, food, and gas, decide to buy a big screen TV, pay bills, or save. So when can we start seeing these checks? They'll start going out in May, but there's a catch. You've got to file your 2007 return first. I'm Kurt Autry, NBC 12.
Students and professors at the College of William and Mary are voicing their support for their now former school president.
This is a moment when we have to speak out, and we have to do so in a very public way.
Hundreds of students staged a sit-in on campus today, and a handful of professors refused to teach class. It's all in support of Gene Nickel, this man who announced a resignation yesterday after learning his contract would not be renewed. Nickel came under fire when he removed a cross from the chapel on campus. He was also criticized for allowing the controversial sex workers art show on campus last week.
A crime alert tonight for residents in the Brandermill area of Chesterfield County. Police say thieves are targeting unlocked cars in the Poplar Grove community. This has happened 5 times in the past 2 weeks. Thieves have made off with everything from cash to a handgun. Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Solvers at 748-0660. The latest Operation Air, Land, and Speed conducted by Virginia State Police produced the lowest number of tickets and arrests since that operation began in 2006. The 2-day safety effort along Interstates 295, 85, and 77 resulted in 1,033 tickets and 1 drunk driving arrest. State police are hoping the low numbers indicate more people are following the rules of the road.
A 15-year-old gunned down in his own home. The murder of Shamar King has gone unsolved for 7 years now. Richmond police say just 1 tip could crack the case. Gene Lepley has more from the cold case file.
Tonight's story is an appeal to those who watched Shamar King die. Being a witness to murder is a horrible thing, but keeping the secret of who pulled the trigger compounds the tragedy, prevents justice from being served, and keeps open a wound that needs to heal. The news video taken that afternoon in October 2001, shortly after Shamar King was shot at his family's Lakeview Manor apartment, hardly hints at the violence of the moment and the incredible loss his parents, Clifford and Frederica, still feel, especially the moment doctors at VCU Medical Center pronounced their son dead.
And his eyes, it was open, and he had tears
coming out of his eyes. He was crying.
And he was expecting to say, like, Mama, you told me. Why would you want to do this to me?
Okay. Right here's a picture of Shamar.
Detective David Burt says Shamar King was not alone when he was killed.
There's no doubt in my mind that there's some individuals that were inside of the residence with him.
The parking lot behind the apartment is where Shamar collapsed. He'd answered a knock at the front door and was shot 1 time. What was going on inside there?
Apparently, you know, when the knock was heard to the door, when he went to the door and the individuals that was in the house with him, they all ran out the back as well.
Shamar was a student at Thomas Jefferson High School. His parents keep letters of condolence written by his classmates. But what they'd really like is for someone to come forward to tell what they know.
If you're a friend of Shamar's, you know what I'm saying, you was in that apartment the day he got murdered, then step up to the plate. Be responsible.
And you have a pretty good suspect in this case who wouldn't cause them any harm right now.
Well, I have a person of interest in the case. Like I said, there's been arrested for unrelated charges, so, you know, he is no threat to them at this time.
I couldn't ask for nothing else right now than to have this come to justice so he can rest in peace. Because right now he's not resting in peace.
If you have information that can help Detective David Burt bring the killer of Shamar King to justice, call Crime Stoppers at 780-1000. This is Gene Lepley for the Cold Case File.
If you would like to take another look at tonight's cold case report, you can find it on our website, NBC12.com. Just look under News and click on the cold case file. There you'll find tonight's story and several of the other cold cases we have profiled over the past year.
The fallout continues from last night's ballot shortage in Chesterfield County. After some polling places ran out of Democratic ballots, dozens of voters were told to handwrite their choice on a piece of paper. The county says those votes will count, but there's still legal questions which may not be decided until next week. Still, the primaries are really a race for delegates, and it's unlikely the lingering questions in Chesterfield will influence the number of delegates awarded to the Democratic candidates.
When the political parties convene to nominate their candidates, there will be among them some who could change everything. The so-called superdelegates can vote for whomever they wish. The Democratic Party of Virginia has 16 superdelegates, Governor Tim Kaine and other state leaders who do not depend on the voters to determine their vote.
Superdelegates or unpledged delegates have discretion. They can decide, quite apart from how the voters voted yesterday, who they want to support at the convention.
Some superdelegates, such as Governor Kaine, have committed to a candidate. Some have not. The Republicans also have superdelegates, fewer than the Democrats, because the party rules are different.
A milestone today for Richmond's new downtown arts complex. Crews began tearing down the back wall of the Carpenter Center. Once the demolition is done and all the rubble cleared away, crews will get to work on expanding the building. This is all part of the Richmond Center Stage project. Work on the Carpenter Center should be complete next fall. A strange sight today near downtown Virginia Beach. A group of dolphins spotted swimming in the Nansemond River. Rescuers counted at least 7 of the mammals. They followed the wayward dolphins back to the relative safety of the Chesapeake Bay.
Get ready for some new episodes of some of your favorite shows. Scriptwriters in Hollywood and New York are back at work today for the first time in 3 months. Guild members voted overwhelmingly last night to approve a new contract. In the coming weeks, NBC is planning to air new episodes of The Office, 30 Rock, My Name is Earl, and Law & Order SVU.
Wintry weather created a big mess on the roads tonight in West Virginia. 6 people were killed in 2 separate accidents. Both were blamed on slick, icy roads. Virginia could see some of that same danger overnight. Let's get an update on the forecast now from meteorologist Jim Duncan.
All right, I want to mention, I don't think we're going to see pictures like that around here tomorrow morning, but there will be the potential for some black ice on the roadways early tomorrow morning as temperatures are going to fall pretty quickly later tonight. We may get a little light coating of some wet snow as well, mainly on grassy areas. Right now, we've seen the change over from that little sleet that we were seeing the past 10 minutes, kind of back and forth over to some light rain. Part of a larger area of moisture that is associated with this upper level system. We talked about it earlier this evening, and it is in fact now coming across Virginia with a pretty good burst of precipitation. Snow on the western edge of it, a little mix of sleet and rain in this in-between zone, moving through Buckingham County, Goochland County, seeing some snow in Cumberland, and we even saw a bit of snow here in western part of Metro Richmond, but it's kind of going back and forth to rain and snow. So this whole area of moisture sweeping through within the next few hours is what could dampen the roads again, and then as temperatures go well below freezing late tonight, we could get that black ice forming, maybe some slick spots later tomorrow morning, or late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Let's check out the winter weather advisory. This issued by the National Weather Service out of Wakefield for much of the metro area until 7 o'clock in the morning for periods of wet snow. But the primary issue I think we could be dealing with later tonight is some icy spots on the roads that will become wet again. They've dried a bit, now they could become wet again. Late tonight in particular, as those temperatures take a pretty sharp drop. Right now we're in the mid-30s in the city of Richmond, 36, still 39 in Petersburg and Farmville at 37 degrees. But our dew point's dropping. We have a north-northeasterly wind, pretty strong wind. That's going to drive these temperatures down later tonight, probably seeing some, probably upper 20s late tonight. So snow showers late. In fact, we're seeing those now, and light accumulation possible on grassy areas overnight as we expect temperatures just too warm to see any of the snow accumulate on the road, except for those spotty areas of ice potentially. 32 degrees 8 in the morning, 43 at noon, 48 later in the afternoon. So a nice warm-up tomorrow once we get through tonight. An hour-by-hour forecast, what we're seeing moving through now will move off pretty quickly by 2 in the morning. Just some patchy areas of wet snow, and it will kind of hang around on and off through about 4 in the morning. I'm not convinced we're going to see a lot of it after maybe a quick burst of precipitation within the next 2 hours. Thereafter, most of that sliding off to the east, but the temperature's really falling thereafter. Early tomorrow morning, about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, still clouds, no precipitation. Sunshine returns pretty quickly. Turns out to be a pretty nice day for your Thursday with a lot of sunshine and temperatures up into the upper 40s. All right, let's check out those numbers. 48 for a high tomorrow. We're going to have temperatures tonight dropping off to around 29 degrees, then about 48 tomorrow afternoon, 32 for a low tomorrow night. Friday at 60, 38 degrees for Saturday, so another shot of really cold air coming back in to start the weekend. And then into the latter part of the weekend, a big storm heading in could bring us a lot of rain from late Sunday afternoon through early Monday. Temperatures will be cold late in the weekend as well. If we want to take one more quick look at the Doppler radar, I'll show you once again what's happening now over the region. As we see some rain and sleet mixed coming through the area with that upper level system, some snow mixed with it as well. The bulk of the heavier or moderate precipitation sliding through in the next couple of hours. Thereafter, just some spotty light snow, and we are under a winter weather advisory through 7 o'clock in the morning. Gene Springer.
All right, from a look at the radar to a look at what's happening outside.
Let's go outside in South Richmond right now. This is a live shot. If you look real closely, you can see some precipitation of indeterminate nature coming down there. Ice, snow, freezing rain, something like that. Stay tuned. Ben Hamlin joins us in just a moment.
iPods, Zune, MP3 players and phones. Cool gadgets that hold hundreds and hundreds of your favorite tunes. But each song comes with a price. Get more bang for your buck when filling up your MP3 player. Rock out without going broke. Thursday at 5.
Now through Valentine's Day, save up to 60% off at Friedman. Plus, take up to an extra $400 off, like this diamond love ring or this $199 half-carat heart pendant. Your choice, just $79 at Friedman.
We're here at Mattress Warehouse to celebrate their President's Day sale. To kick off the event, a skydiver will be landing on this stack of mattresses behind me.
You ready, man? Man, I was born ready. All right, go!
Any minute now.
Hey, honey. Yeah, they're having a great...
The lowest prices on all name brand mattresses. 5-year financing or 0% interest. The Mattress Warehouse President's Day blowout. See our ads, stop in, or shop online.
Hey, Jack. I thought you were getting a Toyota Corolla. Well, I was. Then I found out this Mazda 3's got more interior room, more standard horsepower, and been getting some great reviews. I don't see why anyone would get a Corolla.
Right now, get 1.9% APR financing on the 08 Mazda 3 4-door and 5-door. Discover a better way, the Zoom Zoom way.
Don't let lawmakers limit your financial options. Visit reformpayday.va.com.
Authorized by CFSA.
Now through Valentine's Day, save up to 60% off at Friedman. Plus, take up to an extra $400 off, like this $499 half-carat diamond ring, just $199 at Friedman's Jewelers.
Anthony Grant's Rams went to work right away in tonight's CAA matchup with the visiting Dukes of JMU at the Siegel Center. Eric Maynor from the parking lot with a 3 to give VCU the early 7-point lead. More Ram firepower coming up. Freshman Brandon Roselle, the former Highland Springs standout, found the range for 3. Jamal Schuler also feeling it tonight from the outside. Schuler bombs as the VCU lead grew to 15. The Rams get out of the break and pretty passing leads to Michael Anderson layup. VCU in front 38-21 when they stepped out for popcorn and soft drink. After intermission, James Madison's Terrence Carter drives and scores to pull the Dukes within 10. But the VCU said no comeback on this night. Schuler connects for 3 of his game-high 22. Schuler 4 of 5 from 3-point range. Maynor coast to coast to the rack for 2 of his 16. Check the State College scoreboard. VCU by 19 over the Dukes, 75-56. UNC Wilmington takes care of the Tribe of William and Mary. George Mason wins on the road at Towson. Longwood 3 better than Campbell. Randolph-Macon the winner over Bridgewater, and Guilford beat Hampton-Sydney 78-71. The Hendrick camp had injured woes today at Daytona. Poland center Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Casey Mears all changed engines
after a problem was discovered with lifters in those motors. They'll start from the back of the field in tomorrow's qualifying races at Daytona. When 12 News at 11 continues, we'll check highlights from the ACC matchup between Maryland and Duke. Stay with us.
First Warning Weather is brought to you by Little Caesars.
Feed your family for just $5.
The Boat Show is back. The 20th annual Richmond Boat Show at the Richmond Raceway Complex. Special winter show pricing on hundreds of boats at one time in one place. The 20th annual Richmond Boat Show. See us online at agievents.com.
Just arrived, the 2008 Chevy Impala Luxury Edition with all the options you like best. A rear spoiler, front bucket leather appointed seats, leather-wrapped steering wheel with audio controls, and OnStar with 1 year of directions and connections. All for one great value. Choose this 08 Impala and combine $500 option package savings with $2,000 cash back for a value of $2,500. See your local Chevy dealer.
More baby vision, Steve?
Yeah, I want all expectant mothers to know that we have all the extraordinary lines of baby furniture, lines you won't find at any ordinary baby store.
Oh, you mean names like Baby Stream, Menire, Ragazzi, Bonavita, Pally, and Legacy?
Yeah, but how do we tell all the expectant mothers?
To claim this commercial.
Happy, you're a genius.
Yeah, I know. Could I get some coffee in this mug?
Buy some coffee.
Next to Chesterfield Town Center. You must be here for our President's Day sale.
No, we're here to buy a sofa for her cousin.
Well, have a seat. You know, you look a lot like,
The most comfortable man in the world?
Hurry in now and save up to 20% on select furniture, plus get a discount equal to your sales tax. Comfort, it's what we do. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries.
President Millard Fillmore, best remembered as the first president to have a running water bathtub. He's unheard of. So we are honoring him during Kia's Unheard Of President's Day sale with unheard of deals on the Kia Sportage and the Kia Spectra. To commemorate Millard's bath time, we've created this Millard Fillmore soap on a rope.
Get unheard of deals, like up to $2,500 cash back on the Sportage.
The Boat Show is back. The 20th annual Richmond Boat Show at the Richmond Raceway Complex. Special winter show pricing on hundreds of boats at one time in one place. The 20th annual Richmond Boat Show. See us online at agievents.com.
How can you say that?
Is he spreading vicious lies about his own wife?
Why did you do that?
Why?
I'm done with this show.
If you want to run, there's the runway.
New Dr. Phil.
Take a walk.
Dr. Phil tomorrow at 3 on NBC 12.
It's the greatest show on earth. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey is taking you over the top. Log on to NBC12.com and get your savings coupon for $12 tickets. Playing Richmond Coliseum February 13th through 18th. Get your tickets today.
Welcome back. Second-ranked Duke played host to the Maryland Terrapins tonight in Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. Maryland swats the Duke shot to trigger the Terp break. Vasquez to nice speed to the trailer. Guess who throws it down? The other end, Duke spreads the floor. Kyle Singler hits the three to put the Blue Devils in front by 7. Greg Paulus gets out of the break. No look to Singler for the big finish. Duke beat Maryland 77-65. Roger Clemens was on the Hill today for a committee hearing with his former trainer, Brian McNamee. Clemens denies McNamee's allegations that he injected the 7-time Cy Young winner with steroids. Clemens wasn't the only sports figure in D.C. today. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell met with Senator Arlen Specter to answer questions about the league's office destroying the tapes confiscated in the Spygate scandal involving the New England Patriots.
That's why I came here voluntarily today, is because I certainly respect the Senate and the Congress, and I understand why he may have had questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. I have nothing to hide here. I'm very open about this. That's why I came here to tell them what they believe their responsibilities are. That's for them to decide, not for me to decide.
12 News at 11 continues right after this. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm the Program Car King, here to save you up to 50% off current model year vehicles. At She, like an 07 Taurus from just $99.95. That's right, $99.95. At She, Ford Lincoln Mercury in Richmond and Ashland.
What? You're reading in slow motion.
Well, they smoked this barbecue to perfection over hickory coals for 8 long hours, and I'm just returning the favor.
There are no shortcuts in barbecue or barbecue and shrimp combos. Try our new barbecued shrimp for a limited time at Famous Dave's.
They're coming! Great carpet and flooring buys like you've never seen before. Announcing the grand opening of The Floor Trader. Get gigantic grand opening savings of 50% off our great buys on carpet, laminate, wood, and ceramic floors. All in stock and ready to install. Plus special bonus savings up to $500. Immediate installation and 50 months to pay interest-free.
Floor Trader,
Hi, I'm the Program Car King, here to save you up to 50% off current model year vehicles. At Sheehy, like an 07 Taurus from just $99.95. That's right, $99.95. At Sheehy, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury in Richmond and Ashland.
Thanks for watching Richmond's first choice for local news and weather, NBC 12 News.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Hey, guys, have you heard? Now you can choose the size of your circle. Chad, you've left us with no choice. Wizard!
I better shoot you.
Hey, what is that? Now there's a circle that's right for everyone. Wow!
My bad.
What are you doing?
My Circle. Now call any 5, 10, or 20 numbers on any network for free. Only from Alto Wireless.
McDonald's double fillet of fish. When you see one, you gotta have it. Catch one today with a large Mickey D's sweet tea.
Bluetooth hands-free link, MP3 connectivity, ELS surround sound. All the luxuries of the modern world. To go, the Acura TL. Acura. Advanced.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura TL for well-qualified customers.
As we take a look at the radar, snow and sleet are falling in parts of our viewing area tonight. And with temperatures also falling, there's concern that those roads could freeze overnight.
Our morning team will be a half hour earlier tomorrow with the latest on the storm, including its potential impact on the morning commute. That's 12 News Today starting at 4:30 tomorrow morning.
Thanks so much for staying up with us tonight, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
Be careful out there.
NBC 12, a member of Lincoln Financial Group. On the web at LFG.com.
12 News live closed captioning is brought to you by Allen Furs, Leathers, and Cashmeres. Now celebrating 6 generations.